Hey everybody, I am Sarah. Welcome back to Overkill Reviews, Banger's weekly metal review show. And I am stoked because there's so many anticipated trad metal releases coming out lately. This week, I am reviewing, it's a secret obviously, the 5th studio album by stalwarts of the new wave of British heavy metal, after returning triumphantly in 2012 with their comeback album, As Above, So Below. It is here. This band has been, not quiet, but relatively quiet. That's right! It's the new album from Angel Witch. It's called Angel of Light, and it's out today via Metal Blade Records. If you are sitting there saying, who the hell is Angel Witch, or inversely saying, I had no idea that Angel Witch is still around, then this bio is for you. Angel Witch formed in 1978 in London, England, and have broken up and gotten back together as many times as they have albums. That's 5 for you counting at home. They formed exactly during the rise of the new wave of British heavy metal and have been helmed by vocalist and guitarist Kevin Hayborn ever since. Kicking off their career was their self-titled 1980 debut, Angel Witch, which features the title track Angel Witch that every single self-respecting headbanger can sing along to, and really anyone who's heard the song for more than 15 seconds can sing along to. Inspired by the devilishly occult, hard-rocking, mythical style and undeniable hooks and licks, tons of metal notables have gone on record screaming this band's praises. They include, Dave Mustaine, Tom G. Warrior, John from Dissection, Leif Edling from Candlemass, of course, Tobias from Ghost, Gary Holt from Exodus, and Chuck Schuldiner, of course, of Death. All of them have said Angel Witch rules, and they are right. After the release of this magnificent album, the band broke up and then they reconvened for 1985's Screamin' and Bleeding, which also deserves a reissue because holy crap, that record is impossible to find, which is why it is not on this table. Then they followed it up with 1986's Frontal Assault. After that, they returned with As Above, So Below. Since then, the band has been playing some really killer gigs, and now the band is back fully with a new album, which alongside Kevin features former Mourn bassist Will Palmer. Side note, dude runs the stellar Bad Omen Records, second guitarist Jimmy Martin, and drummer Fredrik Jansen. Who knows? I'm sure he does. Recorded on the same Marshall head that Kevin used on the debut, the record is being lauded as a glorious continuation of form, and the press release claims it could even surpass the band's debut. Does it come even close? Let's find out. I should start out by saying that, it doesn't really sound like Angel Witch has evolved at all. They sound like classic Angel Witch. And when I say classic Angel Witch, I mean when Kevin was on vocals, not for the 2 middle period albums that are not featured on this table with Dave Tatum on vocals, which had a bit of a different feel and were way more echoey. Allegorically, these comeback records, this one and the one I'm talking about, I feel like they are on par with those by Satan, which is a very small and very good company to share because honestly, the vast majority of comeback records aren't really that great. There's good solos, good choruses, that iconic kind of spoken word style singing, of course, hooks and magnificent bridges for days, and the production really hasn't changed. Opener, Don't Turn Your Back, which you heard in the teaser, might be the best song on the album. It has one of those killer guitar hooks and is so easy to sing along to. So, of course, classic Angel Witch. Death from Andromeda kicks off with this galloping progression that rears its head throughout the Angel Witch discography, and Hell is a signature new wave of British heavy metal move that really got popularized by Iron Maiden. You'll hear that gallop on songs like Witching Hour from As Above, So Below, and from Gorgon on the debut. You're also treated to other Angel Witch standards. That includes those characteristically drawn out intro tracks like We Are Damned. We've got a characteristically slower song with the alternating heavy, light, fast, slow parts, which is in The Night Is Calling. And that song, I'm not gonna call it a ballad because it's not one of those songs about wooing your sweaty sweetie. And pretty much all of Angel Witch's like heavy, light, fast, slow songs like Gorgon or Into the Dark, they're not really ballads. They're they've got the characteristics, but they're not cringy. So yeah. It's no surprise that that track in particular sounds like it's part of Angel Witch's back catalog, because evidently it was previously existed only as a scarce, bootlegged live version that was covered by a young Leif Edling and his pre-Candlemas band, Nemesis. Oh yeah, I can't leave this review without shouting out to the cover artwork by Adam Burke. If you don't know Adam, you should look him up, because his art has been adorning a large number of highlight albums from the past 5 years. Adam, you're an incredibly talented painter. Once again, you've created a gorgeous painting for this album, and for that, we salute you. Now, worst parts. This is one of those weird things. The songwriting here, it's solid, it's consistent, the choruses are really enjoyable. There's not really any evolution, which is awesome for some and maybe not so awesome for others. To that point, I feel like Angel Witch will never truly be appreciated for their impact on heavy metal, but they've certainly honored their own lineage and output with this album. And they've made an album that's comparable to As Above, So Below, and albeit I would argue on this new record there are more hooks this go around. But back to that part about this album potentially rivaling the debut. Press releases can be silly. That part just isn't true, and it can't be. Angel Witch fundamentally changed the new wave of British heavy metal, which obviously means that they changed the history of heavy metal. So I'd rather appreciate them putting out a strong new album than say it rivals the debut. It's like when marketing folks said that the new Candlemas rivaled the Epicus Dumicus Metallicus. It didn't. It doesn't. The context has changed too much, so we're going to appreciate this album for what it is in 2019. What does that mean for a skull rating? I think that we should reward Angel Witch for being damn consistent, for helping keep underground metal alive, and for being awesome songwriters. This is a good album, and for all those reasons, it's getting 4 skulls out of 5 here on Overkill Reviews. Now it's time for the shoutouts. As you know, I love shoutouts. First one that I'm going to recommend is the new album by Ironsword. In the Coils of Set is out via Alma Records on October 28th. If you don't know Ironsword, you have some homework to do. They are an absolutely fantastic Portuguese traditional metal act about swinging swords and being a barbarian, which obviously very much appeals to me. The other album that I'm going to recommend to you is the new album by Wotan. And the album is called The Song of the Nibelungs, and it's out via Rafchild Records on November 1st. This Italian epic heavy metal band is similarly about swinging swords and being a barbarian, and they are awesome. And it's been 6 years since their last album, Return to Asgard. Make sure you check it out. Thanks. Bye.